Greetings, dudes. It is I am the one and only Mighty the Armadillo here. And I am Ray, the Flying Squirrel here, and once again, welcome you all back for some more of the Forms of the Maxi Toys videos once again. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Super Mario Bros. 3 for the NES or Nintendo Entertainment System, and for those of you who lived in Japan, for the Famicom. Yep, absolutely, Mighty Bro, absolutely. So anyways, last time we have managed able to explore through probably the longest, and it's also the hardest world in the game, which appears to be by the forms of World 6, by the forms of Iceland. But regardless of the forms of some couple of death situations here and there, we did somehow manage to make it regardless. So today, for this video, is the fact that we're going to be hit on to the next world in this game, known as Pipe Maze, or Pipe Land, to be more specifically, Pipe Land. So, I have no idea why I'm speaking a little bit more gibberish about today, but either way though, we'll explain more details about the forms of some of these discussions we'd like to point out during the forms of the later portions throughout. So anyway, so as you can tell, I'm going to be taking on the first level in World 7, so in some cases though, yeah, this place is going to be filled to the brim with those pipes, and on top of all that stuff though, you have to use those pipes a lot, but not only for certain levels, but also the entire world map itself, because in order able to proceed, as you can tell, certain sections of the world has been divided into islands, and because of that, well, like I said before, you have to utilize the pipes a lot in order able to progress, because otherwise, then you're just gonna have to able to stick around with the forms of one of those levels in particular, and wow, that was really close. I almost gonna get died by the forms of that particular Koopa shell, but regardless, I did somehow manage able to make a close dodge out of it, so kudos to my skills, I suppose. So, anywho, so since about the fact the matter is though, is the fact that, well, suffice to say, only 5 more days to go, folks, until Christmas 2022 is about to be on its way. So either way though, I just cannot wait until I'm able to get hyped about the forms of Christmas than ever will be. And, what? What happened to my invincibility frames? Jeez, the invincibility frames didn't last for long. Oh well, but at least I got myself some ton of extra lives, and something tells me you're about to skip this level, aren't you? Suffice to say, yes, because I just want to move on to the next level, since you're gonna be still focusing on, level 1 of, World 7, so I'm just gonna jump straight into level 2, as you can see. So, oh god, these little plants returning from the likes of the forms of how it does its sense in World 5. And then I think you're gonna have to able to deal with these guys a lot throughout the whole world. And also I just realized is the fact that ever since the new forms, remember why I said this before, that ever since the new forms have been the, well, on first day, that as we said before, that will be the final time we'll be seeing those Hammer Bros in during the course of in World 6 and stuff like that, because as you can tell, that those little plant stuff is now the actual enemy courses for the sake of World 7, but it functions kind of differently from the likes of the regular enemy courses for the sake of the forms of Worlds 1 through 6, and because of that, well, you'll find out until whenever we dive into one of those levels as far as I'm aware, so. And also I just realized is the fact that I've actually just somehow managed to make those blocks appeared for certain circumstances in order to progress, so yeah, sometimes though is the fact that there's going to be a lot of invisible blocks, or just invisible blocks sometimes, so because of that though, yeah, in order to able to progress for certain levels, then you have to make sure that you need to able to do, well, it's kind of like a puzzle kind of world to me though, but I have no idea why I decided to able to bring this up. So anyway, so it looks like you're doing super well for level 7 too, and you were so close to get Starman cards 3 in a row, and that way you can able to get a couple of extra lives back, but apparently your time is pretty wrong, so oh well, but at least you're able to actually complete the level regardless, so anyways, I think I'm also able to use my Super Leaf from now on, so just in case I can able to get better experience of this level this time. So anyway, and also you can able to actually go from left to right on that particular screen, as you can see. It's, you know, just like the forms of how it does it in Mario Bros. Kind of stuff, so. And exponentially, the reason why I have to do this, because I can just simply well, fly about, and then that way, I can able to actually skip some good chunks of the level, and it's also that I'm also able to actually just to get myself a whole bunch of coins on one of those pipes I can able to actually enter into, which I'll probably will get into that until whenever we get to this section right here, while we try to take on that particular Koopa shell. Well, it just somehow falls down like that. And fly and enter this pipe, well, usually from up there. And that way, whole jackpot of coins! So that way, I can able to get my extra life back. So, huzzah. So, nice. So, anyway, a few things we want to explain for this point today, and that is the fact that, well, today's day is, of course, the 20th of December today, in this case, in 2022 today. Unfortunately, though, there's not much else we can talk about, well, apart from the fact that ever since in yesterday, that Tiana, she recently finally get back into the forms of WarioWare Touched, but that's only mainly because about the fact that, like we stated this before, that we managed able to actually realize that she's almost finished up with the game, and that's the reason why it took so long to able to actually get back into WarioWare Touched before we move on to Smooth Moves on the Wii. And because of that though, exponentially, we were able to actually finish up those couple of Let's Plays in June before Christmas time. So it'll be pretty exciting at the same time, just to ensure about the fact that it'll be a lot more excitement for everyone. Oh no, I didn't stop. Oh, that sucks for me. I'm doing really rough right now. Well, you know how the fact that eventually the worlds themselves can get a little bit more harder, but I will say, World 7 isn't all that difficult, personally, apart from that particular point where, you know, with these little, flower-like, you know, enemies and stuff like that, well, these, pesky, flowers can be annoying to deal with, but hey, at least I got my Super Leaf back after using one from the likes of in the very first level in World 7, so at least that's something, I suppose. But it's still cold outside today, which I don't know, suppose if you noticed, but exponentially also, that the snow is seems able to be melting so far. So exponentially also, I have no idea why I say that word so many times, but that's only mainly because about the fact that, well, honestly guys, there's not much else I can talk about, aside from the fact that, well, relatively speaking, that we've almost finishing up with the forms of not only WarioWare Touched, but also this game as well, before we move on to another couple of Let's Plays in the future. Although, we are still surely that we're still about to be preparing for the likes of 2023, and on top of all that stuff though, maybe potentially we can able to actually focusing on the last few bits of Let's Plays in Journey Forms of 2022, just in case we can able to actually get our, you know, Final Thoughts script out of the way. The Journey Forms within the final day of, you know, 2022 as a matter of fact, so... Alright, so it looks like you're about to be tackling through, well, first of all, you need to grind some more extra lives first, because you seriously need some. So in some cases, you didn't get them. If only because my timing is an absolute, ludicrous, sometimes. So, in the end though, I'm also able to do this the hard way by, doing this level as normal by... Oh god, this is an auto-scoring level 2. So, yeah, best of luck on this part though, Mighty, but at the very least you got extra life back, so that should be all good for you. So, and hey, at least you got the Super Mushroom in there too, so, how's that for you? Oh, and also another thing is the fact that I'm presuming that we pretty much almost to the halfway point in terms of Holiday Tour from the likes of Mario Kart Tour, even though we still got screwed over by the forms of stupid controls, and also same applies with the forms of, well, just a whole bunch of the forms of those very little random gotcha moments if we expect that we can able to get something new or anything else like that. But as a result of that kind of stuff though, we still enjoy a little bit for the Holiday Tour, despite the fact that it's been overshadowed by the forms of, well, you know what I mean, with the forms of the 8 Deluxe existence for the DLC tracks and stuff. Yeah, I can totally get the idea about that. No, no! I got cornered and it doesn't help that I can't turn back. Oh, Jesus Louise. So you're now back in 11 lives, whilst meanwhile for me I've got about roughly 30 of these extra lives, so still pretty generous for me though at the very least, so Whilst meanwhile, I'm also able to do this level for you, I suppose. So, and also, I can able to actually get myself my glorious fire flower with me, so it makes the entire level a total cakewalk. If I somehow keep on, like, summoning those, you know, tons of fireballs right at the forms of, well, cheap jumps right there. Although, thankfully though, unlike in World 3, that basically though, these, cheap jumps doesn't seem to able to bother to able to eat us this time, which I suppose that's kind of a good thing, because back in World 3, that basically though, it'll be a lot more punishing if you somehow manage to get swallowed by, you know what I mean, the cheap jump, as a matter of fact. And also, we have to go for a serious amount of those electric jellyfishes, which you can't kill them with your fire flower, and it's bad enough for me, I somehow lost my fire flower, so that's kind of a bummer in my part, and especially noticeable it doesn't help that I'm almost gonna get cornered by not only bloopers, but also micro bloopers as well. But either way though, I'm sure we get another fire flower back, so yeah, it's all pretty swell for me, so anywho though, oh yeah, another thing I would like to mention when it comes to the forms of, dang it, I didn't prepare for that. But oh well, but at least I'm hoping this might actually be the last stretch of this level, because let me tell you, this level's pretty lengthy though. Especially because, you know, with all that auto-scoring segments here and there. But I was literally so close to get the fire flower card, but that's okay, because I've got my extra life at least. So, 31 extra lives as far as I've got through so far. So, pretty insane for my lives counter. So, alright, so it looks like you're now doing level 5, and I think this takes place in the underground, and sure enough, it is. So, nothing particularly, well, there's not much else to say, honestly. Okay, anyway, another thing I would like to mention while this is going on is the fact that, well, do you guys even, know about the fact the matter is, though, is the fact that for those of you the bronies out there, I can't believe it's been 10 years since we've actually become a brony whenever we first watched My Little Pony Friendship is Magic for the first time. Well, technically, it wasn't the first time I actually seen it from that specific points today, but that honor goes to the forms of one of those top 5 episode selections. It's either like best or worst by the forms of one of those YouTubers back in the day that apparently he did somehow manage able to show us some brief moments about the forms of how the show looks like, which Sonic did actually told me that relatively speaking that whenever we first look at it back in the day, in during the forms of 2012, I wasn't really impressed at first, as far as what Sonic has pretty much said, but later on, during the forms of 2012 and beyond, to be more specifically, the end of 2012, that is where we really into the show itself. Especially, I'm very, impressed with all that visual style, and also on top of that, memorable characters, memorable storylines, despite there are some convoluted, episodes alike. For, you know, the majority come from the forms of, well, let's just say during the forms of in Season 8 sometimes. But regardless of such though, yeah, I can't believe it's been 10 years since we actually become a brony. For the sake of the forms of watching My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, for ever since in that year to came. So, but I'm sure that Luigi will able to point things out, during at some point in a later time. But either way though, let's just go ahead and skip along, well, I'm not usually controlling it, because Mighty's gonna able to deal with, you gotta be kidding me, some more hidden blocks. Oh, jeez, or invisible blocks, I meant to say. Yeah, that's gonna be one of those things, is the fact that this world is so obsessed with the forms of not only invisible note blocks, but also, invisible regular blocks too. But relatively speaking though, oh no, 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 why you do this to me, this world? Oh, no, 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 this can't be happening. But hey, at least you're almost there though, so I can definitely tell about the fact that you're doing pretty decently so far. Well, aside from a couple of death situations as far as you've already come across into, so yeah, I know that, especially in the forms of this unexpected, pause, or anything else to be more specifically with the Starman running down the slope kind of stuff. But either way, but at least you're doing quite well, and something tells me we got ourselves another card game, so let's see what rewards I'm also get for this point this time. Although I highly doubt I'm probably not going to get anything from here, so, because it seems it's kind of hard able to get the memory match, so, yeah, I've somehow failed on that. Ah, what a bummer, but at the very least I can able to get one of those items in the, Toad House, so I can able to accept this fact. Oh, frog suit. That might be seems kind of pointless, especially that, I think we've almost done with the forms of World 7 so far. Although, relatively speaking though, we're going back into the exactly the same, the amount of towers we're going to be able to stumble across into. Like, unlike in World 6, that as you probably already know, actually contains 3 towers. Whilst in this world, and the same applies to World 3, and 4, and 5, that basically, we're going back to 2 towers. So, anyways, let's get in here, and to see what's in this level has in store for us. And my god, it has a lot of blocks, and on top of that, there's a P-switch right there, so I wonder what that does. Well, I can definitely show you right off the bat. We're going into New Super Mario Bros. 2 territory, where basically we're gonna have to collect coins to get 1-ups, and what the hell? Hello? Am I just... Okay, I've no idea what's happening there, but I somehow managed to able to clip right through those blocks as soon as when that P-switch is about to be finished, and then I somehow managed to able to warp to the other side. Okay, I was not expecting to see this happening, but I'm actually going to be taking a break collecting coins because I will hit in this door and go into this pipe on there. And from here, not only do we get even more coins down below, but also a giant question mark block, revealing, of course, a Tanuki suit. How I miss you so. Especially, the last time I used you was actually back in World 5, at least as far as I am... No, wait, it was actually the beginning portion of, no, the end of World 4 or something? Well, mind you, it's been about a couple of days ago since I actually, well, last played this for sure. Because obviously, you know, Tiona, she's now finally returning back onto, you know, WarioWare Touched, and, everything else goes all fine and dandy when it comes to, like, getting back to business when it comes to, like, doing those Let's Plays combined. So, anyways, let's fly up here. And also, I've got less time than the Forms of Power does on any other previous levels, so I need to be fast. Yeah, no, time's running out, so at least I completed this level for reals, so nicely done. Although it can be helpful for you, in this level specifically, that you do get a whole bunch of extra lives for doing so, which is always appreciation, especially noticeable. Again, that particular bit does remind me of something related to when New Super Mario Bros. 2 was a thing, where basically there's a whole lot of coins glory, so exponentially you would be able to grind for more extra lives for doing so. And anyway, and as you can tell, as far as what Mighty has already been into, is the fact that, as you can tell, he actually stumbled across a different kinds of levels, where basically, he needs to avoid a serious amount of those, flower-like plant-looking enemies, or something like that, and basically, he needs to complete any of those obstacles before he, receives, one of those random items, so... And that is how, about the fact the matter is though, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Is it this pipe? Yes it is. I was maybe wondering about the fact that which pipe should I go, but then I found out that, well, luckily for me I've got myself my P-Wing. And now allows me to able to progress for certain parts of the world, so... Alright, so let's move on to, first of all, let me go ahead and grind for more of my extra lives. Why not? So... Oh, this might actually be my miracle. Yes, it's my miracle. So that means I'm now up to 35 lives. How amazing am I when it comes to grinding for more extra lives, believe it or not. So, anyways, let's move on to, I would say, oh, we're going back to the underground level. But this level's pretty fun though, because you're able to actually go... Okay, I have no idea what's going on with that Koopa Troopa right there. Oh, it's one of those block-like stuff that we've actually seen before. Ever since, I think the last time we actually seen these obstacles like this, it was in... Correct me if I'm wrong, it was actually World 4. That was the last time we actually see these little arrow lift as platforms, as obstacles. So, yeah, it seems all pretty swell as far as we have not seen those objects since then. So, that's sure it's a sight to behold. Oh, really? Okay. At least I managed able to hit those blocks familiar, so I'll just go ahead and be very careful around here and make sure. Oh god. Okay, this is getting ridiculous now for all that. A bit too hasty, I might add, for able to be almost like completely nerve-wracked at first, but either way, I think something tells me I need to, land on this, you know, arrow lift block, and then just hop over to the other side, and yeah, I was thinking about the same thing as far as my brain tells me to. So anyways, let's get on here and grab some more coins. Oh, a mushroom, I do need that for my health emergency. So, oh wait a minute, we have to use this little exclamation mark block until we progress, because unlike the arrow specific direction blocks, that basically it forces you to go to either the left or right, whilst if you land on that exclamation mark block, you can actually change specific directions every time you jump off the platform and all that stuff. Like basically you can either go up, left, or right. However, it doesn't go down, so that's something worth reminding for, well, because obviously we can't go down there, because obviously it's gonna be filled to the brim with those. Oh god, that was close! I was gonna get myself screwed! But, anyway, at least I somehow made it. Yet. But either way though, we'll just got to stay right there, and then just bypass those piranha plants out of these pipes right here, and hit to the pipe we go, and that's it! That's the end of the level, basically. So, huzzah for my, awesome skills. So, and also not long now until the fact that, well, relatively speaking though, is the fact that once we get into the forms within the final world in the game, well, I'm probably not going to mention about it too much though, because either way though, we're still on World 7 after all. So it looks like somehow Mighty just got trapped by the forms of that particular padlock door right here, so I have no idea what's the point of able to actually get in there, Mighty though, just saying. Well, at least I was gonna able to double check on specific routes or specific paths. I always have to able to be, double checking, I suppose. Anyways, level 7, here we go. Oh, wait a second, I think I've recognized this level from the likes of one of those, micro-stage challenges for the likes of NES Remix 2. That is, it involves around the star chain, which means that, as you can tell, in order to able to make your way for the entire level like this, well, basically, we have to keep on obtaining the invisibility star until you're able to progress for this level, and something tells me you're about to get screwed because the Starman's time limit doesn't last for long, so. Oh, I honestly forgot about that because it's been about a couple of days since we actually last played this, you know? Anyway, oh yeah, speaking of such though, is the fact that using a music box in this world seems to be kind of pointless now, especially considering how the fact that, well, there's no Hammer Bros to be found, especially considering how the fact that it's been replaced by those weird plant-like creatures, so as a result of that kind of stuff though, that's as far as I can say about it, so. Oh boy, this level can get a bit nerve-wracking, but hey, at least I got a Starman though, so like, I can able to actually be invincible! Well, not for last forever though, but that's besides the point. Oh god, I have to focus here. I'm gonna have to... Oh god! Oh, that was close! Alright, just almost there, just have to navigate for those. Oh, I'm actually really nervous. Especially on this part right here, that I have to avoid not only one, but two of those enemies with their weird spiky ball. But at least I made it. Alright. Oh no! I was not expecting to see that! Ah, blast. Nobody messes with my brother. In some cases though, I was expecting to go into level 7, but I somehow failed this level, so you know what? I'm actually gonna be able to just, well, use my awesome Hammer Bros suit and able to take care of this level for you. Because I'm the Armadillo, of course, so, and also tough as well, so. Oh, you're able to complete this level for me. Oh, how nice of you, bro. How nice of you. Yeah, exactly, bro. Anyways, so yeah, with the Hammer Bro suit, you can able to actually toss those hammers into any enemies. And also, what's nice about the Hammer Bro suit is that, well, you can just kill every single enemies with anything. Anything. Like ranging from Goombas, Piranha Plants, and I think there's also Bullet Bills you can also kill, I believe. And on top of that, you know, with the fact that with boos and flumps that we've already come across into in certain tower levels, and also those Plunderboo fireballs as well, you can also kill the kill those enemies with the hammer as well. So that makes things a really awesome power-up to have. Well, mind you, about the fact that it's kind of a shame that the Hammer Bro suit does not return at all for the future Mario games, which is pretty sad, honestly, because I would love to see this power-up returning. Well, technically it does return, though, from the likes of one of those hack games from the likes of the forms of newer Super Mario Bros. Wii, back in the forms of in 2013, I just realized that at least that power-up does return on that particular fan-made game or something by a newer team, but aside from that, we have not seen this power-up since this game, so plus, if you dare duck, you can able to block projectiles, which is always pretty handy if you try to play the game defensively, so yeah, there goes the actual abominable or abomination flower-like creatures, so I also got myself my extra life back at least after that despicable death from that. You know, the Starman doesn't last forever though, so but at least I got my mushroom card, so I think I only got one left, and so hopefully I can get myself 2 lives. So I know it doesn't seem by much though in comparison to Fire Flower cards or Starman cards, but still. For God's sake, what is this up with the forms of those frog suits? I don't necessarily need those. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and use one and get rid of it by getting hit by the enemy, and then hopefully though, I can just simply just do this level for you as well, Mighty, because you did certainly help me for quite a bit. So what I'm supposed to do here is to wait until when the Starman gets close to us, and there we go. Oh god, this makes things a bit harder for me, because obviously since I'm in super form, and on top of that, I have to do a continuous amount of those sliding crouch kind of technique before I'm able to actually just get one of those blocks containing the Starman. But hey, at least I did somehow. Oh, it's this part, isn't it? Oh god, okay. At least I somehow made it. Huh, that was incredibly nerve-wracking at first, but I somehow pulled this off, so ha! Anyway though, so I think we haven't got that left now for World 7 actually, although I'm pretty sure we've only got 4 levels left, like for instance level 9, and the second tower level, and the actual Piranha Plant obstacle course, and finally the forms of the airship level itself. And I think this is where it leads us to the final Koopaling throughout the whole game. So, I wonder who that can be. Well, we'll point things out until whenever we're Mighty to somehow manage to able to finish up this level first. So, we'll exponentially in a couple of levels later, so... And something tells me, is there any power-up down there that you somehow ignored? Well, I'm actually gonna ignore that from now on, because this power-up is so awesome. But there's only one downside to this power-up though, and that is the fact that this power-up is incredibly rare. So imagine if you accidentally lost one. Basically though, you might as well felt a little bit more upsetting if you do somehow manage to able to just, well, don't keep this power-up forever due to the forms of how difficult the levels can be sometimes, because seriously, the difficulty in this game can feel a bit zigzaggy when it comes to likely for certain worlds throughout the game. Like, we already mentioned about this before, but I think World 3 and 6 are by far the hardest worlds in the game, not just by the forms of the length itself, but it's also because several levels can be punishing at points, mainly in World 3's case for Cheap Chomp Chase, and also for World 6 it's all slippery, it's all hectic. And on top of all that stuff though, it's just, well, you have to go through like 2 towers in the forms of World 3, and 3 towers in World 6, so it must have been pretty insane when it comes to likely dealing with those levels like that. But still, I can't deny about that, but still. And I think something tells me that you've almost get yourselves another extra one up, because as you can tell, the amount of coins are endless for this world. In fact, kind of think about it, again, that was before when New Super Mario Bros. 2 exists, and basically that game is so obsessed with the forms of coins glory. Like, the main selling point is obviously just get the amount of coins as possible, aside from the fact that it's so easy to rank up extra lives in New Super Mario Bros. 2, and as a result, you can potentially try to able to just play around with the forms of some of these coolest levels ever, from the likes of, like, depending if you're able to actually buy the DLC, or even get the special edition, or the special gold edition, for the sake of the forms of, like, well, let's just say the special edition, most likely, that you get every single DLC from the get-go, rather than just needing to able to, like, you know, actually access to the actual eShop itself, which is a bit of a shame about the fact that between both Super Smash Bros. For the 3DS and for the Wii U does not contain the special edition version, which actually includes every single DLC fighters, because imagine about the fact that with all that, you know, eShops is about to be closing down forever, from the likes of not only for the 3DS, but also for the Wii U as well. And imagine that though, with the special edition it doesn't exist for Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U and 3DS, well, I feel incredibly sorry for several other owners who actually missed out from. Yeah, I was thinking about that, especially because, well, it can be pretty stingy sometimes when it comes to missing out on things. Yeah, I know that. Anyway, so it looks like I'm gonna be going through the second tower level, so, oh boy, this level might actually be kind of tricky this time, because as you can tell, this level is gonna be involved surrounding a lot of leaps of faith. And on top of that, if I mess up any jumps at all, basically, I will fall down to the lava and instantly get killed by it. And on top of that, I just need to be very cautious just to do not get hit by a lot of, like, piranha plants, boos, thwomps, you name it. So, oh yeah, kind of think about it, this particular sequence does remind me of something related to one of those mini-games in Mario Party Advance, where basically you have to use the pogo stick in order to be able to go across for those large leaps of faith for the sake of the forms of going through pipe to pipe kind of syndrome, except the fact that, well, in here though, at least you can able to control the game just fine, whilst compared to in Mario Party Advance, the controls are so loose. Like, I can never tell if how many times wait a minute, this bit looks familiar, doesn't it? That it almost kind of reminds me of Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels, when if you do somehow manage to able to get into this pipe, but thankfully though, the actual momentum is actually a lot better from this game than the likes of how it does in the Lost Levels for sure. But that's just me. Oh god! Okay, at the very least I didn't get hit at all, so... Alright then, Boom Boom, let's see what you got. And in some cases, you're still pathetic as always. So, there goes Boom Boom. So, in fact, I've actually lost count of how many times that we actually face off against with Boom Boom so far in this game, so... Alright, so meanwhile for me, I'm gonna be going on to the Piranha Plant Obstacle Course 2. So yeah, the music box is pretty pointless in this level, because obviously the music box does not affect on these guys entirely. So because of that, yeah, it only affects on Hammer Bros though. No, my awesome power-up is gone! Ah, thanks a lot, Hitbox. Ah, that's so unfortunate for you, Mighty. Especially you could able to conquer the game within just the Hammer Bros suit, but apparently though that you got hit by this unexpected hitbox, and wow, you just got a mushroom at the end? Oh, I was not expecting this, huh? Anyway, so meanwhile for me, I'll go into the forms of the, what else? The next airship level. And let's just go ahead and, yeah, I think I should probably save my items for the next world after this. So, the 7th airship level, here we come. So, anyway, so it looks like it's turned into, like, a Piranha Plant King. Although, gotta think about it, if you ever played the Game Boy Advance version, or the Super Nintendo version of Super Mario Bros. 3, the Piranha Plant King has been replaced by a Yoshi, or a dinosaur. Or to be more specifically, the sprite does look like Yoshi on the Super Nintendo / Game Boy Advance version, but either way though, we'll save that until whatever we get to next year for 2023 for the 30th anniversary of the release of, you know, Super Mario All-Stars for the Super Nintendo. So, as far as the Game Boy Advance versions are concerned, I think we'll probably gonna have to save those until whatever we get to 2025 or 4. It's hard to tell, really. But either way, though, we'll just see what happens there, so... Oh boy, this level does manage able to force me to able to utilize those screws as platforms, so at the very least, if you do manage able to, like, well, use the super leaf in general, then basically you can able to skip some good portions of the level. Like, if you just wait for a bit, and if you can't be bothered able to deal with the forms that screwy sections right here, then basically you can just simply well, hover over the bottomless pit, and on top of that you can just skip the whole good chunks of the level. Well, for the most part anyway, so... But then again, we'll mention more details about... Oh god! I wasn't hesitating! Okay, there we go. That was really, really close. Okay, just need to focus now. What Ray is trying to say is the fact that we'll try to mention more details about something, and doing at some point in this coming Thursday. Yeah, because I was just wondering about the fact that one of those games, for those of you who lived in the UK or Australia, you probably know what I was about to explain, and that is the fact that one of those 3DS games gets its 5th anniversary since when it first came out. Well, I have no idea why. So anyways, here we go with Ludwig von Koopa. In this case, the hardest Koopaling battle in the whole entire game because he functions kind of like the same way as Roy Koopa. That basically though, he just somehow stomps. So as a result, if you manage able to, like, corner him, then you should deal with this boss fight okay enough. And there we go, World 7 has been completed. I'm quite surprised that this this world rather, is actually also very lengthy. In fact, between World 6 and 7, those are the only 2 worlds I'll consider this to be the longest of the bunch. Well, assuming if we don't die so many times. So, anyways, bring me a last item so that I can able to say something how kind of... What the hell? Yo, I kidnapped the princess while you were running around. So, yeah, apparently that Bowser just kidnaps Princess Peach while we are searching for some stuff, and we're going back to Super Mario Bros. Plot territory all over again. Oh, yeah, I know what this is going. So, anyways though, suffice to say, we're now on to, let's just say, the final world in the game, which is World 8. So, suffice to say, we'll have to end things off at this point right here, so join us next time for more of Let's Play of Super Mario Bros. 3. Is the fact that we'll move on to the final world in the game, World 8, known as the Dark Land, or something like that. Yeah, we'll see you guys until on Thursday. Later, fellas.